Captain, I just want to make it clear once and for all, in case you didn't know, the devil's in the details. And idle hands at the devil's workshop. So make of that what you will.
This is Clementine, and the devil's in the details.
What up, it's Bam Margera, giving a shout out to Devil Dog Gaming and the devil's in the details. Yeah, man.
Nate! Discord here. I don't know where you are, but I'm in Los Angeles, and I think you can see it in the background. On a beautiful day. So when are we all going to get back together again? Who's to say? The devil is in the details. The devil is in the details. Yes, the devil is in the details. Wouldn't you say?
Hello everybody, it's me, Nate, aka Devil Dog, and I'm back with another game review. This time I'm reviewing The Inner Friend. This was developed and published by Playmind and was released quite a long time ago. In fact, it was released on September 6th of 2018 on Steam, the PS4, and Xbox One. I just found this title and it was unique enough for me to actually try to do a review on if you people haven't heard of this. It is a very surreal story where you play as the subconscious manifestation of a child diving into his own childhood fears and nightmares, collecting memories. Now, on your journey deeper down the rabbit hole in this third-person puzzle-style game, you explore very bizarre locations, finding items, and occasionally avoiding monsters, which are pretty much the child's visual manifestations of traumatizing times that this kid suffered through. It's very surreal at times, dark at other times, and throughout this unique but short wordless adventure, nothing is normal. Hands down, this by far is one of the most unique, odd titles I've played in a long time. It's very somber, it's not action oriented, it's mainly got two buttons that you use. The top trigger button and the X button. One button has you jump, which is used not that often, and the other, the trigger button, is the main mechanic for you to pick up items and interact with characters and stuff around you, and that is it. The rest of it is just you exploring the visual manifestations of this kid's dreams, of his nightmares, and it just his overall childhood fears. It's amazing how something that's simplistic as, let's say, going and get a haircut can actually turn into some sort of traumatizing thoughts and dreams for a child. And this does it in a very unique way to where you're like, wow, you know, this is very odd. It's very odd, and some of the most mundane things can lead to traumatizing events and nightmares in children. And this game does a very good job of representing it in a very artistic fashion and a very cerebral fashion as well. Something as simplistic as being yelled at by a teacher, picked on by a bully, picked on by your older brother, or even something as simplistic as getting a haircut can actually lead to some really over-the-top, odd things. And this game, like I said, hands down, has a very unique aspect and a different way of trying to show this. Now, as for the puzzle aspects, they're very, very simplistic puzzles. Once you understand them, they're very easily to get through. Like, one could actually be like a match game where you just see like corresponding power terminals that light up in a certain order, and you have to turn them on in that certain order before you press a button. Another might be something as simplistic as a red light, green light, to where you'll see a stoplight that has a white light, a green light and a red light. And all you have to do is jump on the color coordinating panels in the order to get from one side of the room to the other to get through a gate before it shuts on you. If you step on the wrong color, the door locks and you have to go back and start over. Most of the puzzles, pretty much that's what they consist of. There's a couple puzzles where it's like, honestly, you got to avoid being seen by a beam of light, and all you have to do is just hide behind a wall or something without being seen. That's really the only aspects of the puzzles that this game really has with it. The rest of it is just exploring the environments, going through the very somber levels, some that are very, very weird, very Alice in Wonderlandish. It's a really good way to describe this. Hands down, I wouldn't really even consider this really that much of a game. It's more of an experience, and I'll have to say this, hands down, it is a very unique adventure, very, very awe-inspiring, and at the same time, if you do not go into this title understanding it, you'll probably be gratefully disappointed and be quite mad you paid money for this. This does not play like a normal game. This plays more like an experience, and honestly, if you're not open to trying to see through things through a different lens, this will come off as a very, very stupid and boring and short game to where you'll probably get really mad that you paid $15 for this and go, hey, what the hell was this I just played? I want my money back. You just have to realize what you're actually going to be playing when you pick up and start The Inner Friend. It's very minimalistic in terms of overall plot, story. The way the way you can read this is designed in a very specific way to where people can get different meanings out of this. There's hands down, I would probably get a totally different meaning than somebody else. And if you don't see it for the artistic representation of what it's going for, you're not going to understand this game at all, and it's just going to come off as confusing and very, very simplistic and stupid to you. But hands down, I do see what the development team was going for here with this very artistic approach to showing the mind of a child and the suffering and turmoil that this kid went through in terms of how certain things just came off as nightmares to him, which corrupted his mind and his memories. And like I said, this game is literally only an hour or two long. It's super short. You can get through it in one playthrough. It's super short, and that is a shame. And I do think the price is way too high for this title. For how long of a game this is, this should be a $5 game. Honestly, personally, I kind of think that they ought to make this a free game of the month and add it in with 2 other games, because this is not warranting a $15 price tag. I understand that the development team really put their heart and soul into this, and it does show. The graphics are quite decent. They're not like earth-shatteringly great by any comparisons. They're not going to knock the door down in terms of the high definition graphics of this title, but they do work for what the whole point behind what it's supposed to represent. And honestly, if you go into this expecting an actual game with a lot of mechanics, you're going to be hugely disappointed. If you're going this with not having an open mind to understand the surreal aspects and the different meanings of imagery that's in this title, you're going to be gratefully disappointed. And personally, the only downfall I would have to say with this game, besides its length, is its price. This, like I said, should not be labeled as a game. This should be labeled for what it is. This is an artistic piece that's a representation of a boy's mind and the troubles and tribulations that he went through of things that actually disturbed him. And some things come off as just being stupid until you actually see through to what they're actually meaning. And in the end, I cannot really recommend this to you. I cannot recommend this game to hardly anyone out there, because I really personally feel it takes a very specific person to actually like a title like this. This is a art piece. This is more of an art piece or an experience and not a game title. And I can see a lot of people not understanding this and being pissed off that they paid $15 for what is equivalent of 1 hour's worth of very weird, surreal, art. And that's really what it is. So I cannot recommend that you actually, really get this game. I can recommend if you have a chance to check it out. I mean, I understand what PlayMind was going for when they created this, but I just don't see it, really, standing up to the masses of game players and people in general really wanting to play a title like this. And I really think at maybe a $5 price point, you'd be able to get a lot more people to buy this title, because at $15, I don't see anyone, even currently at this point, at this game being this old, buying this. I mean, really, I could definitely say check it out at least once. It's worthwhile just to see what your personal take on this game is. Because in the end, it is weird. It is unique. It's got a lot of imagery in it. Some might find it disturbing. I didn't find really anything disturbing in it. I found it just more very unique and surreal aspects of just from the viewpoint of a young kid's mind and how they warp it when they're having their own dreams, and you trying to find and search and rediscover yourself basically. But in the end, like I said, it's definitely worth checking out. If you have $15 and you don't mind, spending it to give money to an indie group for them to show what their art piece is, it's definitely worthwhile to play it once. But it's probably just going to confuse you, and if you don't go into it really understanding what you're getting in this title, you will be gratefully disappointed and think that you got ripped off. But in the end, I do understand what they were going for with this, and it is a unique adventure. I just wish it was a lot longer, and I really, really wish the price was a lot cheaper. Those are the main faults with this game. Now, I got to give some pros and cons. Pros: very unique. It's a really unique way of storytelling in terms of showing this kid and his nightmares. Honestly, I like the art style. I like several of the levels' designs. Now, as for cons, though, the graphics aren't that great. I do think some of the layouts of the puzzles are a little bit too simplistic, and the controls are a little bit floaty. There's some platforming segments in this game, and the controls kind of fight you to where it can be quite difficult to make jumps and get actually the correct distance of what you're going for, and that is a major flaw with this title. But in the end, I'm sorry, I even though I like this title, I cannot recommend it to you. This is just too weird and too surreal for most people to really even play and understand. And I think in the most part, most people are just going to feel like they got ripped off in playing this game, especially at its current price. So even though this is a fantastic, neat adventure, a very unique take, I would definitely have to say pass on this. This was Nate, aka Devil Dog. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching this video. Please leave in the comments below if you've actually played The Inner Friend, what you think of this title. Make sure to hit the bell icon to stay updated whenever I release any new videos. And remember, I always end my videos by saying, have fun, play hard, and remember, people, the devil is in the details. Peace out until next time.